Thursday. Sorry, a couple minutes late. Just getting over some caregiver stuff from the week. But hope you're ready to relax a bit here for about half an hour. We do our positive affirmation card picks and just saying hello to everybody out there, whether you're here live or watching the replay. So let's see. I want to mention, oh, let's see, I don't have my book here. Well, September 9th, I believe. No, I'm sorry. Is it September 9th? Well, I'll be starting another round of the Infinite Possibilities for the Well-Traveled Soul program. I believe that date changed to like September 16th. But I'll tell you more about that later on. But it's been going great so far. It's an inspirational, positive mindset, law of attraction program. And we help people to work on their goals and dreams. And that's for people at any age. Because sometimes your goals and dreams or intentions could just be to have a good day today, or a good day tomorrow, or a good day, whatever day it is, or for your week. Maybe you have an intention that I'd like to learn something that I always wanted to learn this week, or I'd like to have some positive interactions with friends, family, more positive than maybe they've been in the past, or I'd like to get together with someone. Really, it could be intentions and dreams or goals could be for any age, even if they're smaller goals. Like I'm saying, that I intend to have a good day today. A person in a even in assisted living or a nursing home can intend to have a better day, and just with the thoughts they're choosing, or just with the intentions they have for that day. Like I said, I'd like to learn something different. I'd like to try a new hobby, and then for people who can, they can have dreams and goals to go after, whether it's about relationships or jobs, careers, businesses, philanthropy, goals, etc. Hi, this is a YouTube Live. It hopefully says that this is from Manifest Fun and Success channel. We're about positive thinking, positive mindset, and law of attraction. And it's really for people who 40 and over, but everybody's welcome here. So thanks for being here, coming from New York. And but we'll be getting into the positive affirmation cards. I just was starting to say that this is the program that I offer, which we're doing now, was from Mike Dooley, originally created by Mike Dooley, who is an inspirational teacher from the Secret movie, the documentary, and an author. And his program, Infinite Possibilities for the Well-Traveled Soul, is something that I'm teaching now, and we'll be teaching again in September if anybody's interested. Okay, hang on a second. Okay. So now we'll do the card picks. You could consider number 1, 2, or 3. This is just a random number, just choosing positive affirmation cards, and see if there's a message that resonates with you today. It turns out I happen to be leaning toward this deck, Happier Me affirmation cards, and we'll just use that. I'll choose numbers, 3 cards, 1, 2, 3, randomly. You might want to consider for yourself a number that's jumping out to you, and see if it's these are all positive messages. See if it's something that is interesting to you. Okay, but actually, if there's any message here, they're all positive messages. If there's any message here that resonates with you, even if you did not choose the card, it could be something you consider for yourself as well. Okay, so I'm just going to randomly put 1, 2, and 3. And here we go. Okay. So number 1 says, creative energy surges through me and leads me to new and brilliant ideas. Creative energy surges through me and leads me to new and creative and brilliant ideas. Okay, so we've all been given the gift of creativity and imagination. Focus on accepting that you are a limitless spiritual being and your imagination will flourish. Thank you. Hello to everybody. So creative energy surges through me and leads me to new and brilliant ideas. I do believe, and from what I've studied myself, that, each of us has a spark of God within us. Your soul, that soul is that energy that animates this human being, that animates that human body that you have and I have. And that's a spark of God, a part of God, and we're connected to God and God's inspiration and all the positive aspects that God is, which includes creativity. And so this says we've all been given the gift of creativity and imagination. Focus on accepting that you are a limitless spiritual being and your imagination will flourish. So it's just like they say, with God all things are possible. And this program that I'm teaching, like I was saying, that was originally created by Mike Dooley, the author from The Secret, and he was in The Secret movie. Infinite possibilities in this vast universe of gods. There are infinite possibilities, but with our human minds, we have limited vision. That's why we don't have to consider the how of how good things can work out for us, how we can achieve our dreams, etc. So this is saying, focus on accepting that each of us is a limitless spiritual being because we're connected to God. You're where there's God, there's infinite possibilities. You're a part of God. That's your soul is part of God. That's all the inspiration. And you know how many times you've heard probably musicians or writers or artists saying, they're waiting for like the inspiration to hit them for a great song, or or they say the book that they had in mind, it just came through them. That's that inspiration that they're connected to, and often that happens when you're in a peaceful state, or you're in a joyful state, or you're connecting with nature, or you're meditating, or in prayer or meditation, or you just really enjoy following your positive passions. That's the way to connect to that higher vibration, that God vibration, and with that comes inspired ideas, creativity, solutions to your problems that you may have. You have to, we go to Chat GPT, but we really don't have to, because ultimately the true inspiration, the true answers and solutions really are coming from God, and we are a part of that. We could connect to that. That's where we have these limitless, infinite possibilities, solutions, creativity, imagination. So we're connected to that already. We are our own Chat GPT when we connect to God, the source, the divine, however you want to say it. Okay. All right, so that was number 1. Number 2. Here's number 2 says, my inner self always knows what to do. My inner self always knows what to do. And it says, whenever you have to make a decision, pay attention to what you feel in that moment, to your discomfort. Whenever you have to make a decision, pay attention to how you feel in that moment. Usually, from what I understand, it should be like your decision should kind of come from your heart, um, more than just like the rational brain, like your intuition. But when you're in a positive state, it's better to make a decision because that's when you're more in that divine, divinely inspired flow. Is your discomfort or anxiety coming out of fear, or do you feel as if it is somehow justified? Let me see. I don't think this is written correctly. Is your discomfort or anxiety coming out of fear, or do you feel okay? Or do you feel it's somehow justified? If you feel some kind of discomfort about a decision or anxious about a decision, is it coming out of fear, or is it that your gut is telling you, this is not the right fit for me? Because you want to listen to your gut, when you make a decision. Again, meditate, pray about it, however resonates with you. But like get into a centered place where you're kind of calm, and then make a decision. That's usually the best way to make a decision. Not when you're frantic, afraid, angry, tired, hungry. You don't make good decisions like that. Then your human side comes in with all these doubts and fears, or biases. Again, so whenever you have to make a decision, pay attention to what you feel in that moment. Is your discomfort or anxiety coming out of fear, or do you feel as if it's somehow justified? Is it maybe just, you're going with your gut? You want to go with your gut, what your heart tells you, more than what your brain tells you. But often, because we're souls having a human experience, that human side can get us confused, especially if we're hungry, tired, angry, or in fear. You have to settle down, simmer down, as one of the old Saturday Night Live sketches used to say, simmer down, and then calmly make your decision, because then you're better connected to God and His inspiration. And your inner self, which is your soul, your higher self. My inner self always knows what to do. That's what this is saying. Okay? Number 3. Here we go. I'm just going to answer this question just because I'm not too sure. I know we have some real subscribers here and some that are not. But I'm going to say, Wyatt said, show the favorite thing you got this summer. I'm not too sure what you have in mind with that. The favorite thing, I would just say this summer, I have been reading some good books. Somebody mentioned a book, but then I got some crazy messages. I've been seeing some good books. And one is The Source by Tara. I know it reads backwards, but The Source by Dr. Tara Swart is a very interesting book. This is The Secrets of the Universe, the Science of the Brain. And she is a neuroscientist from London, a lecturer at MIT, and also a psychiatrist. And she's on Lewis Howes' podcasts, a lot of podcasts and everything. She has some very interesting things, because here we talk about the law of attraction and manifesting, and even signs from maybe loved ones on the other side. And she's writing about this stuff coming from the perspective of a neuroscientist, and also how the brain works. So it's very interesting. I also had gotten a very good book that came yesterday. I don't have it handy here. It's called Via Wonderment. Via Wonderment. It's a very colorful, kind of whimsical book on manifesting and positive mindset. As a matter of fact, it's got summer tropical illustrations in it. And I also recommend that. Very inspiring. When you find books or speakers who you really resonate with, it's a kind of magical. It's almost like I believe that's a manifestation in itself, that you're starting to attract to you things that are more a match for you. So I'm going to say, Wyatt, if you're a real subscriber out there and you want to say, what is something that one of your favorite things that you got this summer? I'm curious. But those are two books that I recommend. I also have here's another one that I think is cool. It's called DIY Spirituality, and it's got a disco ball on it. And I just happen to love colorful. I have an art background. I went to art college and stuff, so I started out in graphic design, art direction, and went more into life coaching. But I love things that are colorful and creative, as well as metaphysical, positive mindset, law of attraction. So I recommend those. Okay, last one, number 3. 3 says, I deserve all the good that comes my way. It's like Lucky, was that koi fish? I deserve all the good that comes my way. You deserve all the good that comes your way. And it says, for more empowerment, add this affirmation. I now release all negative beliefs about myself. I now release all negative beliefs about myself. Now, I don't know if that could happen like that just by saying this. I think it's a little bit more evolved than that. But what this is addressing is that you could have positive affirmations and intentions, right? I deserve all the good that comes my way. Do you really feel like that? You may feel like that on some level, but you might, maybe from childhood or even adulthood, you might feel that maybe you're not fully worthy, or you getting good things is not fair because other people deserve them more for some reason, or that you feel like if I have this, then I'm taking away good from other people. But it's not supposed to work like that. In this abundant universe of God's, there's supposed to be enough for everybody. But we have these limiting beliefs. Again, they could be from childhood, from young adulthood, even just from our culture, our religion, our government, our society. Different generations that you were born into had different beliefs, and now beliefs are, there are newer beliefs, but you come from that other generation, and sometimes it feels like you're stuck with certain beliefs, but you're not. You can choose to release all negative beliefs about yourself. It might take some time, but from my understanding, the last thing I'll say about this, so that you can have all the good that you deserve come your way. If you consider what negative belief you might have, you don't really have to dwell on that too much. Like, oh, I deserve all the good coming my way, but I made this mistake when I was younger. Maybe I don't really deserve it. Maybe God's not happy with me. Maybe, instead of thinking of those old limiting beliefs, consider what is a more positive belief to replace that. Like, I'm only human. I've been learning and growing since childhood. It's okay that I made mistakes. Other people made mistakes too, and they have been accomplishing good things. They've been getting God's blessings. It's okay to make mistakes. I'm trying to do better each day, and I want to share more goodness in the world. So I deserve good. Everybody deserves good. We're all God's children. I'm worthy, and I'm willing to be open to the idea that I'm good enough. I'm good enough in God's eyes, and I'm worthy. And then just like lightly saying a more positive belief to replace the negative belief that you could kind of get behind, where it doesn't feel fake. Because then you could say the positive beliefs. I deserve all the good that comes my way. Because even though I had some mistakes I feel I made in the past, I'm trusting that God loves all his children, and I've been trying to be a better person. Yeah, I'm beginning to feel more deserving of all the good that comes my way now. You know what I'm saying? You have to kind of talk yourself up into a more positive belief behind the positive affirmation that you want to take on. Um, okay, so let's see. We have a few more minutes, and I'm going to just do 3 random ones from the Rethink Mindful Life deck. Again, these are all positive affirmation cards, and it's just, you know, I have to say, right, when they say talk from the heart, I have to say, YouTube is kind of kooky because there are a lot of fake people that come on, fake subscribers, etc. And that could be distracting. You know, I try to be a good person. That could be distracting. And but I'm practicing it because ultimately what, like, you know, why am I doing this stuff? I believe that people need to have more positivity in life. There's so much negativity out there. And on the news, and you know, it's sad. There's a lot of terrible things going on, wildfires, wars, all these terrible things, and we need to send up prayers, donations. You know, if people could help in some way. But then you're most effective doing what you can from where you are with what you have. And if you have an interest, a passion, a talent, um, for helping people in a certain way, you know, use those God-given gifts, interests, talents that you have to help uplift yourself and others. And that's really, to me, how we can spread more peace, understanding, and compassion in this world. So I do this. Also, I'm building a business of this life coaching business, events, positive events, and the group coaching event I'm doing called Infinite Possibilities for the Well-Traveled Soul. Starts September 16th online to help people achieve their goals with positive mindset, law of attraction, practical steps. But you know, I'm here sincerely wanting to share some positive words and encouraging words for you, whether you're here live or in the replay. Because I'm sure, what do you hear during the day? What do you hear during the day? What do you read during the day? Are people mostly talking about how good life is? Are people on the news talking about how good life is, all the good stuff happening? Well, the news tends to just show the negative events to get your attention, to get our attention. You're not usually going to see that much good on the news. They have some good stories, but you know, but you're not. And a lot of times, if you walk down the block, you go to your local diner or whatever, wherever you hang out, do you hear people talking good stuff? I mean, hopefully some of them are, but a lot of people are not. They feel down. You know, who's got this ailment? You know, who's got this? You know, feeling sick. And a lot of it has to do with what are we attracting? What are we focusing on? If there's anything to being able to help ourselves to have more hopeful, more joyful lives, more fun lives, it seems to start by connecting more with God, the divine, and however you believe that, prayer, meditation, however you believe that, you know, and following your joy, that spark of joy that God put in everybody, different positive passions. And when you do that, all of a sudden you start to see synchronicities, or what you would call coincidences, showing up. All of a sudden you see, you know, I just won a gift card at the whatever. I just ran into this friend of mine I haven't seen in so long. I just got this opportunity for a job, a freelance job that I needed to help pay the bills. Oh, I just got a better report from the doctor, and that to me is comes when you're being more positive. Then you get into the flow of God's blessings and that high vibration. But if you're always looking at the negative, or you're doing stuff on the internet and you're bothering people on the internet, why are you doing that? I mean, it's like, it doesn't get you anything good. You know, as a matter of fact, what you put out is going to come back to you. So, you know, you're only inviting in negativity when you put out negativity. But everybody is where they are on their own soul's journey. So even those people, you got to send them love, because you know they're learning. So all right, I was going to pick 3 random cards, but 2 fell out. So I'm going to read those 2, because there's a thing they say, if the cards fall out, you know, maybe it's meant to be read. And this 3rd one that is just on the top. Let me get this other one that fell out. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we are done for today. If anybody's interested, no, I don't do anything like that. If anybody's interested in this channel, this positive mindset, law of attraction, that's what we talk about here. Please like and subscribe if you really like and are interested in this stuff. It tends to be for people who are about 40 years old and over, but everybody's welcome. Any age, but adults. Okay. No, I'm not doing any of what they're saying down there. I just believe that our deceased loved ones also, if someone's talking about, the deceased, I believe our deceased loved ones are also on the other side, with God. I'm talking about all positive energy things here. And that they help us. I mean, sometimes I have dreams of my mom who's on the other side of life, and, or I see coincidences, signs that I feel like maybe she's around, helping in some way. And, yes, thank you. So I do think, like, that's why they say, we feel like we're alone sometimes, but if you're like me, I just believe we have God. In my case, I believe in Jesus too. Everybody's from different backgrounds, but, whoever is your divine, positive, helpers on the other side. We have our deceased loved ones who supposedly are helping us along too. These high vibe angels, saints, whatever you believe. I believe that they're helping us. Okay, see, B.G. Newman. I'm sad because I haven't had a dream about my mom since she passed, but I feel like she's with me every day. That's fine. You know what? I'm sorry about that your mom passed, and I could relate to that in a couple things you're just reminding me of. I think a lot of people, like my own relatives, there are people, and I believe in that, my opinion, that there are people who are sensitive to connecting with the other side. The mediums, whatever, the relatives, people's relatives and stuff. I don't do that. I mean, I don't have that sensitivity, but it does seem that when my mother passed away, and we were best friends, and that was about 11 years ago, or 12 years, something like that, 13 years ago. She came to me in my dreams. Now, I have always been into this stuff, so I'm not sure how I was able to get that information, but it did help. But then there are a lot of relatives who have never, and my friends too, all wonderful people, loving people, they haven't had dreams of their deceased loved ones and parents, whatever. And I think this is a very possible reason, and a comforting one, is like, I like what Abraham Hicks says, that if you're really in if you're still really grieving and you still have like a lot of sadness, a lot of grief around them and their passing, that vibration is a little too low right now for them to, like, they're at this higher vibration. God and those deceased loved ones, they were at this higher vibration, they say, and they can't really lower their vibration enough to match getting into your, like, consciousness, because when people are grieving, they're at a very low vibration, and it's like it can't connect. Sort of like if you're on AM radio and you're trying to get an FM signal, it doesn't match enough. You have to get up to the FM a little bit. So, like, maybe when you feel a little bit better or a little bit more calm about the passing, or a little bit more hopeful about it in some way, or accepting of it and moving on a little bit, then you may be able to get the person in your dreams or whatever. And that's just a thought. I mean, that's just something that I've heard. So, but it's still, they're still there helping you, in my opinion. So I hope that helps a little bit. B.G. Newman, what you're saying about, yeah, my pleasure. I mean, it to me makes some kind of sense, because I have a lot of wonderful relatives, cousins, best friends, and they don't, but you know what? They also say you can ask for a sign just in your day, or maybe I would find if I was on vacation. Now, I'm a caregiver, and I haven't really been taking real vacations for years, unfortunately, so far. But I would find that when I'm on vacation, or anybody's on vacation, usually they're in a higher, better mood, more uplifted, in a higher vibration. And I would find that I would see synchronicities, coincidences, where on a tour boat, the name of it was my mother's name. Okay, I would take that as a sign. It doesn't have to be through a dream. Or they say, if you see a coin on the floor, look at the date on it. Maybe it's a date that connects to something important to you, or about the person that you love. Look for the little signs, or ask them. Maybe ask God, help me to connect with if that's okay to you within your belief system with spirituality. All right, let me get to these three, because now I see it's running late and I have to go. But thank you for participating, B.G. Newman. I'll keep an eye out, maybe. Yeah, and you know what, B.G., just what you're saying is something very interesting, because this is what we talk about in the class that I do, Infinite Possibilities. We may be, oh, that's fine. No, that's fine. I'm glad you asked. Thank you. I'm glad. It's nice to talk to a real person who has sincere comments and questions. So thanks for being here. As a matter of fact, I want to give you a round of applause. That's refreshing to have someone here, to have a real conversation with. And I wish you the best on the, things will get better. One of the things, but they say about when you're grieving someone, like a parent or something, I like what Abraham Hicks says about don't keep looking for them where they were. Like, that's where you'll see the emptiness, or feel the emptiness. Look or think about them for where they are now, which supposedly they're able to be actually closer to you, even though they're in energy form, like the Wi-Fi is around you. You don't see it, but it's still there. You could turn, you're looking at me through some kind of probably Wi-Fi or something. So that energy is still there. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it does not exist. And what was I saying? You were saying about, and it says that now wherever you go, you can connect with your mother. Just, in your heart and in your mentally. When she was around, she was only where she was if she was in the house and you were out, she wasn't there. Now you always have a connection with her. It's like you're an antenna, and she's an antenna rather, and you could just talk to her in your mind, and she knows what's going on. You could connect. This is my understanding. So in a way, look for them like, okay, that's how my relationship was with my mother, because that's what I would think at the time. It's like we were close. We were always, we would go to cafes and things and walk in the park. Now I'm not. She's not there for me to do that. But now I look for her. I talk to her in other ways. I have a big poster on my wall that I got shortly after she passed away. That's like this big of her. So I feel like I have a picture of her. And I just talk to her, now wherever I am. And you could connect with people on the other side that way, and just nurture this new relationship now. You know? Yeah, it's helped me a lot because, again, my mother was everything for me, right? What would they call, like uh, best friend, therapist. I mean, I've had therapists, but um, mom, chauffeur, whatever. When I was younger, and so then when that person's not there anymore, if you keep looking for how it used to be, like everything else we do, this is a big message for everybody. I think for all of us, when we look at how things used to be, everybody was younger. Even if they're older and they're around now, that looks depressing. Things used to be this way in life. The neighborhood used to have this store, that's gone. This is different. That person's gone. That's looking at the past keeps us kind of depressed because life is constantly changing and we're changing. So now we have to look for the good, in the new, and look for the good in what we have now, and build the connection we have now with our deceased loved ones, just in a different way. Okay, I hope that helps. I don't know. But again, this is my opinion. Anything I say on this broadcast, you go by your own inner guidance, your connection to God, and what you believe. Okay, I'm just trying to help my own way. Thank you, DG. Okay, I'll just do these quickly. 1, 2, 3 from Rethink Mindful Life. And mindfulness is about really being in the present, because supposedly that's where our power is. Not in the past where we feel regret or depressed. Not in the future too much where we feel anxious because it's the unknown. What are we doing with the present? Right now, the present is me talking to you, whether you're here live or in the replay. And look for the good. Look for the blessings in the present. And have fun with it. I had to go to a doctor appointment with my father yesterday. And, people there, everybody's kind of, feeling down or, whatever, stressed. And then I was thinking, what, let's lighten this mood up a little bit. Make some jokes or whatever. And people are looking for that. We should be having more fun in life. We don't have to be, so sad and depressed, because when you have more fun, when you feel more hopeful, like God, I believe, wants us to be more hopeful and joyful, because the soul continues on. Even when people pass away, it's not like they don't exist anymore. That would be tragic. So, I believe that energy, it can't be, is not created or destroyed. It just keeps changing form. It's not like they don't exist anymore. They exist. It's just that energy changes and life changes. And we can have more fun each day. We can add fun wherever we could find it, even if the day is challenging. Make some jokes with people. Everybody enjoys a laugh. And you know what? That'll make you feel good too. All right. I don't know what I'm doing now with the numbers. I'm just going to read these fast. Expression of creativity. Expression of creativity. I harness the power. See, this is coming up again, creativity. We had this card said creativity, and this one's saying it. In the program I do, or just on your own, you could do that. Being creative, even if you feel like, oh, I have no creative talent, I'm not an artist. Hogwash. Everybody can do some creative activity. Just doodle with a pen, a marker, a paintbrush, and have fun. It does not matter at all what it looks like. It could look like crud. It does not matter. Creativity gets out stress. It helps you to relax. It helps you to have fun, think whimsically, and uplift your mood. So expression of creativity. Art therapy is very powerful in your own playful way. I'll be doing programs on that too. So if you subscribe to this channel, you'll find out about that. I harness the power of my creativity to discover innovative solutions and approaches in pursuit of my goals. I fearlessly explore beyond conventional boundaries, thinking outside the box and wholeheartedly embracing new ideas that propel me towards success. All right, what does this all mean here? So they're saying if you use your creativity, you do playful, whatever, drawings, crafts, um, dancing in your own way, crocheting, whatever, making music, writing. I harness the power of use your creativity to discover innovative solutions and approaches, and a lot of times you'll get inspired ideas by doing creative projects, and a lot of times those inspired ideas will even give you solutions to some of your problems, or may give you ideas of opportunities, things you could create to help you in some way, whether with income or with building new relationships, building a new community with other people who enjoy creativity. It helps you to think outside the box and embrace new ideas that propel you towards success. You get creative, you'll get ideas, you can connect with other people who are into creativity and new ideas, and you may find yourself creating or attracting opportunities for your job, for your social connections, and also for your wellness, for your health, because it's a stress reliever. Okay, here we go. Number 2. I can't believe another one on creativity. I can't believe that. 3 cards on creativity today. This is not a creativity deck. These are 2 different positive affirmation decks. This one says courage. I have the courage to face my past and move forward with bravery and resilience. I confront my fears head on, embracing discomfort as a catalyst for personal growth. With each step, I let go of the past and step into a brighter, more empowered future. So again, courage is saying face the past, move forward. We're supposed to allow all feelings, sadness, fear, regret, doubt. Let's see, I have the courage. So you're supposed to be able to face it, allow it to be, if it was part of your past, allow it to be, don't push against it, kind of see it for what it was. You're a human person with, your soul, but also human. You're learning, you were making mistakes, that's okay. You're worthy as a child of God's. Allow yourself to have those lower feelings, but then to build yourself back up, consider your good points, focus on the positive and where you want to go in life, and with God's help, move forward and let go of the past to a more empowered future. Okay, last one. Unleashing creativity. Once more, I told you, this is the other third creativity card that came up, and shows the person singing. I tap into my limitless creativity and express myself freely. I trust in my creative abilities and allow my unique ideas to flow effortlessly. With every creative endeavor, I am inspired and amazed by my brilliance. So unleash that creativity. Tap into it. It's limitless. The more you play with your creativity, you'll get more inspired ideas, creative ideas. Also, like I said, you get yourself into a higher vibration, and positive ideas and solutions will start coming to you. And even just the joy that'll make you feel better. And when you're in more joy, you're going to get more positive, inspired ideas and start attracting more things to make you feel joyful. Because that's how the law of attraction works in God's universe. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Thank you, B.G. Newman, for the conversation. I wish you your own healing and wellness. And to everyone out there, let's make it a great day. Have more fun. Share some positive words with people, maybe a joke. And I think we all could use some more uplifting in this world. And that's how we get a little bit more peace and love and compassion out there. Have a great day. Have fun. Take care. Thanks for being here. And if you like this, please like and subscribe. And I'll be here every Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Info, I'll put a link below soon about